All right, everybody, this time with a few days to spare instead of negative minutes. Last time it went, when was it? It was like, when was it, 11 o'clock?
11 o'clock, and then we got the overview up at like 12:30.
Yeah.
It was close.
So, LGND 33, which is right outside that door. If you guys watched that video, that truck literally got finished at 11 o'clock the night it was launching. So, is this Jack? Is that Jack?
Yes.
It is Jack.
I know, you just said that. Do you want to wait?
Might as well. All right, slight interruption. We're gonna get right back to it. So, as I was saying, the last giveaway truck that we did was a 2022 F350, and basically finished it the night of the giveaway launch. So, this one it wasn't the case. We started this giveaway build the second we got the truck. So as soon as we got it, we tore it apart. There was one slight holdup on this one. There's always a different thing that happens. But basically the holdup on this was that the lift wasn't shipped for a few weeks after we paid for it, but it should have been. All good though. Ended up showing up. We got it done. It's all that matters. So we're gonna get right into it. This is our current giveaway, LGND 34. 33 past giveaways in the books. 33 just ended. We don't even have a winner by the time that I'm making this video, but we should have a winner within the next few days. So LGND 34. There's quite a few things done to this thing, and in every single overview video, I go into pretty good depth of exactly every single thing that we did to it. So let's start off. It's not going to be a short video, but I don't think it should be too long either.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
So first and foremost, it is a 2023 Chevy High Country Duramax 2500. It is factory onyx black in color, and we wanted to go with a brushed wrap for the first time ever. We've always stuck to either chrome or solid color wraps. Now this is the first time we've ever done anything that was textured. Now textured wrap is a lot different in the installation process because you have to line up, since the brushed finish only goes one way, you have to now line up every single panel correctly, so it's all following the same direction. So it's a little bit more difficult to wrap. We got everything down to the handles wrapped, and everything goes in the same direction. Now remember, all of this stuff is done in-house here in the lab. From the wraps, I mean, the paint gets sent to our paint shop, but everything gets assembled back here at the lab. All the powder coat gets sent to our powder coat shop, brought back here, everything's assembled here. The wraps get done in-house. And then of course all of the assembly gets done in-house. The assembly is, I would say, it is the hardest part of any build process, making sure it's done right. Anybody can get parts done by a powder coat shop or a paint shop, but the assembly, the disassembly and the reassembly is the most important part of the process. So the wrap wasn't the easiest, but took a little bit longer than a normal wrap. So chrome wrap and textured wraps are the two difficult types of wraps that you have. Actually, let's just use a camo wrap for example. So if you were to get a camo wrap and you start wrapping the vehicle, each panel you want to make sure that the camo doesn't split up, right? So that each piece of the camo kind of matches once it goes past that body line. So textured is kind of similar, although we don't have to make sure that we get the exact shape such as a camo wrap. Same thing goes for a solid wrap or a chrome wrap. You don't have to really make sure that you don't waste any wrap. Now, if it were a camo wrap, and I don't even know why I'm talking about camo wraps right now because it's not camo, I'm trying to get the vision of how this actually came together in your mind, right? So realistically, to put it simply, everything needs to be laid on in one direction. Wasn't too difficult, but took longer than a normal wrap. Chrome, I still think takes longer than a textured wrap. So anyways, it is brushed black everywhere. Anywhere that it's not brushed black on the body, it's satin black, because we wanted to have that nice contrast between the brushed, and then wherever it's not brushed, you got a satin black, not too shiny. If you did gloss like the wheels, we did want the wheels to pop, but as far as body parts, we want the body to all be somewhat of a satin finish. And that's kind of what the brushed black looks like from afar. Other than it glistening in the sun, it almost looks satin or flat. In some lights, it's almost like it's matte, but it's not. Let's go front to back. All right, guys. So again, back to the wrap real quick. Entire grill, bar, cross member, whatever you want to call it, completely done in brushed metallic black. Same thing for the grill bars. Now these come separated, they separate from each other. You have these bars, and then you have the larger bars here. So we kept 2 of them satin black on the center bar just to keep them, again, that contrast, along with the bow tie painted in satin black. But all of this brushed, of course, is wrapped. Bumper, factory black, wrapped in the brushed black, and then tow hooks, not painted, those are powder coated. Again, getting off topic here, kind of bouncing back and forth between paint, powder coat, wrap, but we're gonna continue on. Our valance, which is composed of 3 separate pieces. You have this section, the bottom section here, the skid plate separate. So you have, this section, and then you have just the lip on the bottom. Those are all 3 separate pieces. So we painted this one in satin black, brushed metallic wrap on the bottom lip, and then our center section right here is painted in satin black. Our factory skid plate was factory chrome. We did not paint that, we just did the brushed black over it. So the headlights are satin black, completely painted on the inside with amber lights in the factory DRLs. So normally when these light up and you're just driving, they're white. But for us, I wanted this thing to be all amber LEDs because it's all black and I just think it would look really cool. Dude,
That's why.
Anyways, we got an LGND retail store now inside the lab. Look around, this place is awesome. This is where we build all the giveaway trucks now. No more in that old, crusty, small shop. And you can get your truck done here as well. But continuing on. So our factory blinker, which is normally behind this lens up here, has been deleted, removed, and now our DRLs, which are normally only on when you're driving, and this is your factory blinker. So these would stay white when you're driving from factory, and then right here would blink orange when you signal. So now, since we removed that, we tinted our lens up here so that you can't see the chrome behind it, right? The chrome reflector bucket that the bulb reflects the light out of. You can't see that now because it's tinted. Our DRLs are now amber, which are actually switchback LED strips. Now switchback is white when you're driving with your DRL and amber when you signal. So it's a dual purpose LED. So these are switchbacks wired to be only amber. Now they do also signal. So now that our OEM signal is deleted, now our DRLs, our factory DRLs, which are all amber, are also our signals. So those will flash as well as our mirrors and our handles. So getting over to the mirrors, now that we're talking about it, they are just factory mirrors, completely sanded, smooth, painted in satin black with factory lights. We did not touch those lights because those come amber. We just painted the inside black and resealed them up. And again, all of this lighting you can get directly from the lab. You can go to the website, thelabct.com. You can purchase them on the website. And if you don't see something on the website for your vehicle, which is likely, you can either email us or call us directly from the site. Get mirrors, headlights, handles, taillights, whatever you want for almost any car. Okay, there are some cars that will turn down, but if it's a new, cool car that we haven't done yet, we'll take it on. We love doing the new stuff and different stuff. So if you want some really cool stuff like this, it's cool because it's all amber. We would love to do it. So anyways, lighting all done in-house. Mirrors, satin black, factory signals, just painted black on the inside. So these are actually factory handles. The only thing that we did here, it's not really the only thing because it's kind of intricate, is we have to CNC out this little strip right here, make a lens, and then put the LED behind it, right? And then you got to wire it through the doors. You got to go through the door boots, and the wiring's a whole another pain in the ass. But as far as the handles themselves, they are factory handles. We CNC them out, we make the lenses, and then we put the LED strips in back of them. So you do have the option to go with switchback, which is again white when you're driving, or amber when you signal. We, again, just like the headlights, amber theme on this truck was to have everything amber. So we just wire these up just to amber, and again, they signal with your signal. They flash with your signal. We were on paint, and now we're somehow on lighting. Right? Well, there's really not too much that's painted, but this is a paint and lighting thing right here. So taillights, the only thing that we did here, again, murdered out truck. Sometimes we leave the reverse light clear, which you can see right there. But being that the truck's completely murdered out, and it has a very good backup camera, where we're like, all right, let's just murder it out, completely tint the taillights. So we do tint taillights here as well. This is a simple thing. It doesn't take long. It's just paint at the end of the day. Same thing for the third brake light, just tinted OEM third brake light, again, to get that murdered out look. You do have options when you do taillights. We have multiple options. You can buy clear lens. So factory taillights are always red lens, right? So you can buy clear lens LED taillights from Recon, Spider, a couple different companies. We always use Recon when we do custom taillights. So those taillights, you can actually take the lens off and paint the inside, and it would look awesome. It matches your truck perfect. You cannot do that with red lens taillights. Why? Because if you take these apart and you paint the inside, you're not gonna have a clear lens to see the paint. You're gonna have a red tint over the paint. So needless to say, you don't do that. So the only way that you can get a color matched taillight is if you do a border on a factory taillight and leave the red lens, or you do a border of the paint, whatever color your truck is, and then you tint the taillight so you don't have the red, you just have a tint plus the border color. Or you buy aftermarket taillights through us, we open them, paint the inside, color match your truck, and then your whole entire rear end is color matched. So black, it's easy, you could do tint. For other colors, brighter colors, you either have to tint plus border and paint, or do the Recon aftermarket taillights. So we didn't really paint too much. Reason being is because the brushed kind of looks like factory textured plastic. So the textured plastic and the brushed, if you're looking at it from afar, like the handle, being that it's in the shade and out of the light, you can't really see it too well, but that is not wrapped or painted in satin black. That's just factory textured plastic. So we did get to leave a lot more pieces on this truck, specifically textured plastic, than some of our other trucks. Okay, moving on. Fender moldings, all 4 of them obviously were painted and then wrapped. Again, if you are going to wrap something, and I say this in every single overview video because I have to say it, most of our trucks are wrapped. If you're gonna wrap it, you can't wrap textured plastic. So if it's chrome, factory chrome, you can wrap it because it's a smooth surface. You need to have a smooth surface. Textured plastic, if you were to wrap over it, you're gonna get a lot of air bubbles and it's not gonna stick. Because at the end of the day, there are high points on that textured plastic, right? That textured is composed of something, and that's really just like, almost like speckles of plastic, right? It's not flat, it's not smooth, so if you try and wrap it, it's not gonna stick, you're gonna have a very bad day. Don't do it, you can't do it. So we have to paint the fender moldings before we have them wrapped. So now if you take this off, this wrap, you will have gloss black, color matched to the factory color fender moldings. Same thing goes for our valance. So the bottom valance was painted. Again, this is originally factory textured plastic. If you were to try and wrap that, again, won't work. So all of the valance was painted, and then we did it in the brushed black wrap. Fog lights opened up, painted black, satin black. Our chrome hood scoop trim, originally chrome from factory, painted in satin black. Cab lights, factory LEDs. All we did was change the finish on them, so now they got a slight tint over them. Our Duramax badges, can't have those in chrome. In order to get those off, you do need to take them off from the back. So you need to take off your plastic trim pieces up here and then remove them from the back side and paint them satin black. For paint, other than, well, now that we're looking at it, this is factory chrome, factory window trim. Paint, now not painted, sorry. Those are wrapped in satin black. Wrap, paint, and lights. We have hit everything. Okay, next up on the chopping block, we have suspension. Okay, suspension wise, 7 to 9 inch show off lift kit, powder coated all satin black. Funny story with this was that 3 days ago, this was a different color. This was copper 3 days ago. The whole thing with powder coat is if you have, and this might not make any sense to some of you guys, but if you have a powder coat color that is a translucent, it almost looks like a candy or really, really shiny, half the time, usually, that powder coat is a 2-part powder coat where you have to spray a chrome powder coat, bake it. Once it comes out of the oven, you then spray it again with your top coat, which is a translucent top coat. And the whole outcome, the quality of the outcome, is all dependent on the quality of the chrome powder coat. Now, chrome powder coat is never going to be as shiny and as polished aluminum or polished steel, or just polished metal in general. So if you are looking at a swatch of a translucent, really shiny powder coat color, half the time it's done on a raw metal polished piece of metal swatch, right? I saw a color on our powder coat wall that I really thought would look cool as a secondary color for this. My original idea for this was to go just completely murdered out, but instead of doing just murdered out, because we've already done a murdered out truck in all gloss black, which was also a Chevy. That one was a 2021? 2021? So that was LGND 17? 19. LGND 19. We're on 34, guys, okay? So LG 19 was all murdered out, but it was all gloss black, factory gloss black. This, we wanted to go a little bit different, but still do completely murdered out because it's been a while. So 15 giveaways since we've done another all black truck and everybody's asking for it. So wanted to give you guys it, but we wanted to put a little bit of a twist on it. Anyways, I veered off that idea at one point and I was like, we should just do this color because it looks really cool. We got the powder coat back, we were ready to go, we assembled it, we got it all together, we got it aligned. And then as soon as it came back into the shop after being aligned, I was like, damn, I really don't like this color because it almost looked orange. It didn't look like the copper that I wanted because the powder coat was done over a chrome powder coat and not over polished aluminum. I'll give you an example. We did the lug nuts as well. Lug nuts, spiked lug nuts come in chrome. And if you powder coat over that chrome, it's gonna come out beautiful because it's over polished chrome. The lug nuts are actually chrome plated versus chrome powder coat. So if you took the lug nuts and you put it next to the powder coat for the lift kit, two completely different colors. The lift kit was like 10 shades darker and the lugs actually looked like that copper, which almost looked rose gold like I wanted. So at the end of the day, completely repowder coated everything, all satin black. I was like, I don't care if it's gonna set us back a little bit on filming. We're still gonna launch by the time we need to launch. It might be a little bit harder, but I do not wanna do this color because once I launch this giveaway, there's no turning back. We've already shot all the videos, we launched it, you can't do it. So it was a decision that I made on the spot, the second that it rolled back into the shop. As soon as we were about to just button it up, I was like, all right, take it all back apart, bring it down to the powder coat shop, get it done, get it overnighted. So our powder coater did pull through, got it done overnight, got it back here, and we slapped it on, and here we are, finished truck, 2 days later. So got the powder coat back on Monday, today is Wednesday, and today was pretty much just, it was done yesterday. Today, I drove it home yesterday actually. So it took us a day, maybe 12 hours after we got the powder coat back to now finish it all back up, get all the bumpers back on, and completely button it up. So team pulled through on that, but either way, just wanted to let you guys know that this was, all of these parts were orange 2 days ago. So back to the lift kit. Show off 7 and 9 inch. What does it consist of? It consists of upper control arms, new spindles, we got our factory sway bars, extended sway bar end links, factory torsion bars, bump stop extensions, and then of course our cross member drops. And then on the side we got the show off branded torsion bar drops. And then finally in the back, the last part of the kit is just blocks with extended bolts. Powder coated hitch with a powder coated two-tone satin black with gloss black fins, Mag High-Tech diff cover. Fox 2.0 shocks all around the truck, front and rear. They are the Resi shocks. One more thing I should touch base on is that these are factory Fender end caps, right? On the front, since we got some big wide wheels on here, we got the short ones, the stubby ones. So only in the back, it does come as a set for the whole entire truck. I only wanted them on the front because I honestly think that the rear looks better with those end caps the way that they are. We only do it on the front so that we don't have to cut. These OEM Fender caps are actually super hard to cut and make it look nice. So it's better off just to get the smaller ones in general. The front bumper is cut, not the bumper itself, just the valance, the plastic piece of the bumper. And the reason being is because, again, it is wide. So this is as much as we really wanted to cut it. And I think it looks pristine. Wheels and tires. So we got 26 by 14 American Force wheels in all gloss black this time. No milled at all, no raw aluminum showing. LGND supply cone to lip ×2. And then gloss black. Actually, these are satin black, sorry. Spiked lug nuts, and then in the back of the wheel, which you can't really see, are black 2-inch shifted industry spacers all around the truck, of course. That gives us a little bit of a beefier look of the truck from the front and the back, of course. And again, you're going to sacrifice a little bit of turning radius with wider wheels, or at least this wide. So if you win this thing and you don't like the way it turns because you don't get full lock, again, you do not get full lock on this truck. You get about a turn and a half. You sacrifice functionality for looks here. So if you want to turn full lock, you will have to probably take off the spacers, and from the front and the back of the truck, it's not going to look as good. Again, this is our style. You're entering to win the truck, but at the end of the day, if you do win, you can do whatever you want with the truck. You're getting $50,000 in cash on top of the truck. So if you do not like the setup, by all means, take off the tires and wheels. Put your own, whatever preference your wheels and tires are, put those things on. Or take off the spacers. Again, you can do whatever you want with the truck. If you really don't like the truck at all, sell it. Either way, if you win it outright. you can do whatever you want with this thing. We do not care. We have no say. Continuing on, some trucks, some of the Chevys, some of the GMCs, when the dealership spec them out, we don't actually build any of these and order them because orders take a while. We never know what we're gonna do next. So we usually just search for dealerships anywhere in the country that have them. This truck is from New Hampshire. This is the only dealership that actually had one ready to go and at a good price, not $10,000 markup, right? So we still paid a markup on it, but we got a pretty good deal on it. And it was really one of the only ones available in the country at the time. So again, this was about a month and a half when we bought the truck. So everything that is done to this truck has happened in the past month and a half. But New Hampshire, bought it there. Some dealerships don't spec them out with the steps, but it is an option from GM on both the Denali's, GMC, Sierras, and the Chevy Silverados. So this one didn't have them, so these are amp steps. Which I mean, honestly, I like the factory steps just because they have the full strip of light that goes all the way down the edge over here. But at the end of the day, these are nice too. I have no problem with them. All right, so we got 20 rock lights. We have 2 in each wheel well. LGND branded rock lights. So we do sell these in our showroom on the shelves. You can get them literally in person and we can install them, or you can just come in, grab them, take them to your house, take them to another shop, have them install them. We also sell them on the website, so if you do buy them off the website or in the showroom, doesn't matter, you get entered to win the truck. But we got 20 of them. Super reliable. Like I swear in my life, have never had one of our rock lights fail or had a winner tell us that our rock lights failed on their giveaway truck. So super reliable, super bright. 2 in each wheel well. We got 2 on each side, so left side underneath the 2 doors. We got 1, 2. Same thing for the other side. And then in the back and in the front, we have 2 in the back, 2 in the front. And then we have a couple in the middle of the truck. So everything's glowing. Now, how do they turn on? We have 2 separate switches. So as you can see, 1, 2. So one turns on just the wheel wells, the other one turns on the rest of the truck. So if you want to just go around with the wheel wells on, you could. If not, turn on the whole entire truck or turn on just the underbody. I didn't forget about rack lights this time. Oh, reminded me. Bullet antenna, can't forget about the bullet antenna every single time. So this is an LGND bullet antenna, also available on the website. Purchase a bullet antenna, you do get entered to win the truck. You could also get one in the showroom here. It's a 2-second install, okay? There's nothing, you don't need to take it to another shop. You get a bullet antenna, you put it on your driveway. But I think we hit everything on the exterior. One thing I want to show you guys, really cool in the Chevys, I always show it. GMC doesn't offer this, so GMC has the split tailgate where you can drop one and you eat your lunch on it on a job site if you want, or use it as a step. I don't like it. It's kind of pointless. It's not pointless. A lot of people find a good use for it. But the Chevys, oh, now you want to work. See. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, the proper operation of the tailgate button is to press once, press again, and hold it. I don't know why I wasn't doing it the first time. Anyways, that is pretty much it for the exterior, right?
You said the tires, right?
I did not say the tires. Good point, Owen.
All right, there we go.
35 by 15.5 Fury Off-Road Country Hunter MT tires. Okay, moving on. Interior. We got tint all the way around, 5% on all the sides, and then 35% on our windshield. As far as the interior itself goes, it is just a fully loaded High Country Duramax, just like the past, however many we've given away. They all look the same. So the High Countries only come in 2 different color options. You got the brown, and then you have the black. So we've done a lot of them with the black. We've only done a few with the brown, but this one's all black, of course, with the wood grain trim. Of course, they all come fully loaded with your CarPlay, your Android Auto, super good sound system. This absolutely defeats the Ford in every single aspect on sound. So Fords suck with their sound. Another thing I should mention is that these things ride like a cloud. If I am to pick one of the manufacturers over the other in terms of ride quality, it will be GM. So that means GMC and Chevy. They have the absolute best ride quality out of all of them. It's the IFS, the independent suspension. I've just never really found a liking to Ford or Ram. They're always a little bit more loose, and I don't like it. These ones are always firm, 100%, like no play at all, no matter what you do. If you lift it 12 inches, this thing would still be 100% firm on the steering wheel, right? and it just rides better over bumps and stuff. Honestly, the independent suspension is like my favorite out of all the different options, which is just straight axle or independent suspension. So Ford and Ram are straight axle trucks in the front end. GMs, Chevys, and GMCs are independent suspension, and the independent suspension is 10 times better than straight axle one, in my opinion. Some people might say no. People have their ups and downs for different reasons, but in my eyes, I like the independent suspension. Solid axle definitely looks better when you lift it super high, because the independent has that cross member, and when you lift it super tall, let's just say a 12-inch lift plus higher than that, it looks ugly because you have like this block in the center of the truck just showing, and it's usually like this big on a 12-inch lift. Now this one, the cross member drops like that big, so it's not that crazy, but if you go bigger, it's like this big. It's ugly. It's not good. So a lot of people do solid axle swaps on the GMs when they go super tall. But if you're staying in between, anywhere between stock height and I would say 9 inches, 7 to 9 inches, you're good. You can lift it without doing a solid axle swap, and it'll look good and drive amazing. Okay, rest of the interior, again, just bone stock, 2023 High Country, fully loaded. It's got the sunroof. The only thing it does not have is aux switches. That's why we put it in our own switches for the rock lights. And the last thing we need to go over is our cash. So $50,000 in cash, just like the rest of our giveaways. We've been doing $50,000 in cash since LGND 15, 20.
20, yep.
That was two wrong guesses. I'm out of it then. But $50,000 in cash since LGND 20. It's been 14 giveaways. Every giveaway before that, we incrementally went up. So we went up from 10,000 originally to 20,000 to 30,000, 40,000, and then at LGND 20 we capped off at $50,000. So every single giveaway for any truck comes with $50,000 in cash. This is real cash. But if you try and jump me, I will break your legs. If you win this truck, you're gonna take the truck, title, both keys, and $50,000 in cash. Once you drive it home and you get home, you can do whatever you want with that cash, deposit it, put it in a safe at home, whatever. The truth is that cash is not like cash you would take from your buddy because you sold him something on the side and you're not gonna report it to the IRS. You will have to report this, because how it works is these giveaways, and I'm gonna get a little bit explanatory here, which is why this video might go a little bit longer than I expected, is because these giveaways, all giveaways, if they're legally bonded and registered, they have to be, to make it legal, you have to report what you won, right? So when you win this truck, when you win any of our giveaways, all of our past winners have signed paperwork with our agency that does the drawing and makes it all legal, that basically adds this amount of the giveaway to your income for the current year, or what year you actually won the prize, right? Took delivery of the prize. So whoever wins this, for example, will end up paying $130,000 worth of taxes. Not $130,000. They'll pay the taxes on $130,000 of income. So usually the tax bracket's somewhere around like 25, 30%, whatever it is. Whatever your tax bracket you're in, you're going to pay that amount on the $130,000, which is the approximate retail value of the grand prize, which is the truck plus the cash. Now the truck, we don't factor in the aftermarket goods, the labor, all of the stuff that we do to the truck into the value of the truck. We just do book value. So $80,000 book value is the value of the truck, and then the $50,000 that adds another 50 to the 80. You have 130. So when you win this thing, you will get $130,000 added to your income for 2023. And then in 2024, when tax season comes around, you will have to pay taxes on that income. So that's why I always say, in my ads, in the overview videos, I try and say it as much as possible, that don't expect the $50K just to be used for whatever you want. You will have a little bit left over after you pay taxes. I always suggest that you kind of save the $50K, maybe use a little bit of it, but if you use a little bit, kind of just save a little bit more and put it back in. But the point is, you don't want to get to tax season and then have to pay $50K out of pocket, or have to sell the truck to pay the taxes because you used the $50K. But the cool thing is, with our giveaways that most other giveaway companies do not do, is give you enough cash to pay the taxes entirely clean. You have to pay nothing out of pocket. So in addition to your income taxes, you will have to pay sales tax on the truck if you have sales tax in your state. That varies from state to state. Some states are 6%, some states are 10%, some states have zero sales tax. So you'll pay insurance, sales tax, and fees, whatever you have in your state to register the truck, and then the income tax. So the income tax And the insurance is a monthly payment, obviously, unless you pay your premium in full. But insurance for these trucks shouldn't be too much, especially if you have a clean driving record. Now, a few things to note, and I go over this as well. To be eligible to win the truck, to win the giveaway, you need to have a few things. You need to make sure you check off a few things. One, you need to be over 18 years of age. You need to have a valid driver's license. If you're in the US, you need to be a valid US citizen. If you're in Canada, because we also offer the giveaway, we let people from Canada enter. It's just not as many people enter from Canada, but we've had one winner. Out of 34 giveaways, we've had one winner. So people do enter from Canada, not as many, so obviously we don't have as many winners from Canada, but Canada is open, minus Quebec, because Quebec doesn't allow sweepstakes or raffles or anything of that sort. But eligibility, if you're under 18 years of age, quick little hint, tip, trick, whatever you want to call it. Put the order in someone that you trust name that is a legal guardian or someone that you just trust, right? So if you have your mom or your dad or a really good friend or a brother or a sister that's over 18 and you trust them that if they were to get their name called and say, hey, you won the truck, that they actually would give you the truck, the keys to the truck. Some families are really screwed up and people would screw them over if that did happen. I don't think we've ever had a kid win through somebody else that entered for him. All of our winners have been over 18 except for one that got drawn and lied about being over 18, which was a one-time thing. It's never happened again, and I hope it never happens again. But truth is, listen, you need to be over 18 years of age. If you're not over 18, put the order in someone else's name over 18 years of age. Trust me, if you win and you get your name called, you don't want to have to tell them, hey, my age is, I'm 17 years old, right? And then they're like, oh, you're disqualified, and then somebody else takes it. So just telling you that now, take note of it. If you're under 18 only, remember that. But yeah, anyways, from April 1st, April Fool's Day, to May 21st, you have the opportunity to get entered to win this truck right here, plus the 50K, like I've been explaining the whole video, right? So it has happened 33 times. This is number 34. It's happened more than 33 times because we've had giveaways that weren't numbered necessarily, like obviously 34, 33. We've had LGND V2, for example. We've had a couple different giveaways that were not necessarily in the number count. So we've done more than 33 actual prize awards, you know, people winning. So this actually could go to you, but if you do not enter, guys, you're not going to win. It's as simple as that. So I say it all the time. If you get entered, you have a chance to win. If you do not get entered, you have no chance to win. One lucky entry wins you the truck plus the cash. Every single time we do a giveaway, one lucky person that gets entered does win. It is legit. These people are real. We're real people. You can come into our new shop now, The Lab, Legends Auto Boutique in North Haven, Connecticut, and see us, meet us, and see the giveaway truck, and get entered to win it right here. So we have nothing to hide. So with that said, if you like the truck, if you like the idea of winning this truck plus $50,000, then head to the website, lgnsupplyco.com. There is a link in the description, or you could type it out, lgnsupplyco.com. Get yourself entered and wait till the deadline. Again, you never know what God has in store for you, what fate has in store for you. You might be the winner, and if you look at this thing and you're like, I'm on the fence of entering, you don't enter, that could be the difference between you winning and just it never happening. But you won't know unless you try. So this truck, $50,000 in cash, take your chance, get entered before May 21st. Thanks for watching another overview video, guys. I'm sure it was pretty long. Get entered for this thing. I'm sorry for hitting your truck. Okay, now I'm done talking, guys. That's it. Get entered for LGND 34, May 21st.